says, "Hey everyone, this is Andy Hall of the Friday Mornings with Sam and Andy." See, Sam, I think this is the first time I remember the name of our show.
There you go. I think we usually bill it with your name first because, just respect. Also, tomorrow's your birthday?
Tomorrow, well, yes, but I don't want to bury the lead here. But though my birthday is pretty freaking awesome, I believe we have a third person with us today.
That's right. Hi, everybody. I'm Tara of Sam's other podcast,
Weirdos at Home.
I co-host that with Sam. Oh, and I'm in a relationship with you.
That's right. That too. We are definitely crossing the streams this morning. And I want to make it clear, Andy's decision only.
Right. Well, I thought I saw a bit of your show, Weirdos at Home, and I thought this would be pretty awesome to have Tara on so we could create some kind of strife maybe, or I could create some kind of strife between you two, because that's what I do apparently. What's that?
Go ahead. Sorry.
So just to be perfectly clear, I am drinking this morning. I decided that I'm going to start my birthday celebration a little early.
There you go.
Cheers.
So cheers. So I got some Captain and Coke. Coke Zero, though, because I'm trying to keep my non-svelte 52-year-old dad bod. I don't know. At 52, is it a dad bod or is it like a granddad bod at this point? I don't know.
It's still a dad bod at 52. It's still
a dad bod. Let
me
say you don't look 52 at all.
Why, thank you. That's very kind of you.
I think he looks like a West 6th Street in Austin, a West 6th 37.
I think you look like a West 6th 37-year-old that just opened his own whiskey bar.
Oh, the whiskey bar. That's right.
Bar. What's it called?
Oh, it's a cigar bar now? It's both.
Yeah.
It's both. There you go. See, Andy, down here, and it'd be a whole different...
come down to Austin. They would love you down here. Yeah.
Except for the world is closed.
Oh, yeah.
I thought, okay. First, before I want to say hello to the Empathetic Atheist. What's up? And, of course, Mr. Chris Mallard, my foul partner on Tuesdays over at his show on his channel. But, I thought everyone likes a little salt and pepper. Yeah, there's a lot more salt than pepper. That's what I've been noticing. There's a lot more salt creeping in here. I thought Texas was open for business. You guys have the requisite spike in COVID-19 cases, and I thought you guys were rocking and rolling down there.
Number one.
Yeah, we're number one. We're number one. COVID. Oh, it's a bad thing. Our governor, I think this morning, he I don't even know the order anymore. So he went way lax, and then earlier this week he was like, "Fuck it, do whatever. You don't have to wear a mask." But then today he woke up, and for some reason he's scared to death this morning, and he's scared enough, which says a lot that he's rolling back capacity to restaurants and bars to 50%. So you can only do half full. Them back. Okay. I don't know what Greg Abbott's deal is. He seems to have had some issue understanding the severity of this problem, and he's blamed young people. We talked about that a couple weeks ago, Andy. I really don't know who to point to other than himself when it comes to him not making it clear you just have to stay home.
Him and the lieutenant governor are just scheming somewhere.
Are they scheming or are they stupid?
Stupidly.
You can be both. You can do both.
I just have a hard time these guys are scheming anything because of the way that they're just so inept and so incompetent. They're just falling
ass backwards into bad decision after bad decision.
Right. Yeah, I don't think there's any kind of logic to any of this because, Andy, we've talked about this. They're killing off their own voting base. What is their plan here?
There is a lack of plan. Whatever that plan might be, it might be a Donald Trump plan, which means that it's a negative plan. If there was an example of entropy in motion, like jacked up, really turbocharged motion, that would be that non-plan right there. Just like entropy, I almost fell back myself because of the entropy. That's what I think.
So you guys are somewhat open, right, in Boston?
Yes, we are. Well, as we were chatting before, my birthday is tomorrow, and we are doing I am doing some kind of crawl. Hey, Brainbug, how you doing? We are doing an early morning. Well, what we're doing, let me tell you the big picture. The big board here is that we're doing a crawl, but we're not going inside. We're doing all patio stuff out of fear of transmission of the virus, or as Chris Mallard would say, the cooties. So we're going to just be outside patioing it, only going inside for bathroom breaks, which will probably be like quite a few times since we're going to be drinking pretty much. Well, I'm going to be drinking starting from
today.
I don't know. Yeah, today. Maybe. That's right. Starting now, and till whatever time my body out on me, basically. But we have plans up until 8 o'clock at night. That's when things start closing, I think, in terms of patio service. Now we could go inside to a couple of restaurants too, but we don't feel confident, and not just me, but it's like me and my smarter, more educated girlfriend both thought we shouldn't be going inside to drink. What up, Andy Hall, Brain Bug? And so so we're doing a crawl. We're starting off at the 1369 in the most civilized part in the country, Cambridge, Massachusetts. And I know that's I whenever I say that we're the most civilized part in the country, people from Austin give me grief. People from San Francisco give us grief, but that's part of the masshole in me. Is that
don't take any shit from anybody from Austin. You guys have Harvard, and we have people putting on jean skirts and cowboy boots and falling down in their own puke. Not that you guys don't drink with the best of them, but I don't know, man. I wouldn't say civilized when it comes to Austin. We pretend to be civilized,
right?
Not these days, no.
No, not with everything boarded up in Mad Max world going on downtown. With our city world we have going on. That sounds awesome, man. I'm really excited for you.
Jealous.
I wish we could go.
Yeah.
I wish we could be up there to join you because a good Boston, just rowdy on the streets of Boston sounds like exactly what I need. Or how about this? Going to get drunk at some fucking Harvard bars, right? Like fucking.
Oh, yeah.
I see. I don't know. I only know it from the movies, Andy.
It's all true. Whatever you've seen from the movies, the horrible accents, the pictures of beer, it's all true. Horribly, wonderfully true. And
It was a documentary, actually.
I don't know if you guys have heard that MIT they're not having classes inside. You see, I just assume everyone just pays attention to whatever the hell's going on in Cambridge. So MIT isn't holding classes in the fall, so that means probably Harvard isn't going to be holding classes in the fall because they don't want to be left behind. So we're going to have like a vacant city up until after New Year's, possibly, which is going to be pretty awesome. Yeah.
Well, down here, they're taking a different approach. I think at this point, they're saying it's going to resume in the fall
back to school is normal.
But instead of going until Christmas, they're going to stop at Thanksgiving and then do like a long break before spring semester. And
then everybody back in January, which none
of it makes sense at all. I would hope the Ivy League schools like Harvard are, the ones that start the trend of saying, no,
because Lord knows
to do this.
Because Lord knows this country always listens to the Ivy League people.
Well, down here, like at Texas State, party school number 1, like they're not paying attention to anything like that.
No,
that's not seem important to them. Yeah.
No, San Marcos is still partying.
Yeah. We may not be in the Ivy League down here, but we know how to party. Damn it.
Oh, my girlfriend says MIT will have limited classes in the fall. That might be with the graduate school. I'm not sure, but it's good to have her in the chat to keep me straight.
There you go. Hey, Amy, the cat didn't fall off the shelf. I think she just she's running some errands or something. She comes and goes pretty much.
She dive bombs.
Dive bombs. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, we'll see her flying from the seat, like up in the cabinets all the time.
She's doing her Cirque du Soleil thing, right? She's going to be.
That's what I call it. Her Cirque du Soleil.
Yeah, we're trying to pitch something to the MGM, but we're not getting any return phone calls right now.
It's very tough during coronavirus to get any project greenlit right now.
Hey, Andy, it's funny you bring that up. Tara brought up to me a big commercial she saw for what casino?
Sorry, Caesar's Palace. The big one. It's a brand new commercial that they just made in the last couple months, but it was to, I guess, announce and celebrate the reopening of Las Vegas, which happened a couple weeks ago, I think.
I have no idea.
And they were going to be doing social distancing measures and extra cleaning crews and things. But it was narrated by Wayne Newton.
Well, there you go.
Special appearance. But just talking about, we miss everyone and we've been doing so good. We've been doing so good, keeping everything clean for y'all. And then at the very end, it shows like a showgirl and like one of the Caesar's Palace, like Roman.
Oh, like this, like Caesar,
the guys that stand around and take your picture. But they're wearing like bejeweled face masks. So like that's the new norm now in Vegas. It's like they're gonna sex up the face masks. Come back in, gamble, give us your money, spend. Oh, no buffets anymore though.
No buffets.
Oh, the buffets are gone. I had two really bad experiences in Vegas, and the buffets were the high point for me.
Same here.
And the drinking. Yeah.
I've only been twice, and both times, I've got to say the buffet were very high up on the list.
I mean, if I can get pancakes and crab legs all in one sitting,
right,
it's worth it.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I can't imagine. There's got to be some old people, don't you reckon, Andy, who are just saying to hell with it, who are going to blow away that life savings because their kids are assholes and who cares anymore?
Let me tell you something. If you've already blown through your 401k on scratchers, on scratch tickets, just because there's coronavirus, it's not going to prevent you from going to Vegas and blowing out those credit cards or however much equity you have in your home. There are people just shopping,
left, right?
Whatever's left. Exactly. Whatever's left. So yeah. There's gonna, what is insane is that people in Vegas think that, or even attempt to consider that you're going to be able to keep people separated.
Right.
We've been to Vegas. It's a mob. It's just like herds of dude bros and people just doing. Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. They hit themselves when they're doing the fist pumps. and how are they going to be able to manage that insanity? It's impossible.
And just getting from point A to point B in Vegas, like they don't have regular crosswalks.
You're in a herd of people constantly.
They funnel you into like the skywalks
right.
and the elevators
right.
and escalators, where instead of letting y'all roam free, you're just channeled from one casino to another, like just germs everywhere.
Right, like cattle, and that's the way they like it.
Ooh.
And that's it'll be interesting to see who makes it out of a Vegas trip right now. To go breathe the recycled air, the famous Las Vegas recycled air. Anyways, Andy, you've got a birthday coming up. What do you say? I bet we can get a real cheap deal.
I'm sure we could get out there to Vegas. I think we should do a show out there. We could all take, we could all take like COVID-19 tests and exactly show when we get the virus.
There you go. Have a race. Have COVID races.
It would be like Russian roulette, but with no swabs. I think that would be the best idea.
And apparently flights are like $30 round trip. So
I bet they're cheaper now.
I'll see y'all there.
I bet if we lower our standards, we can find one for under $12. What do y'all think?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think that the only thing that would be more genius and a greater chance of getting COVID-19 than taking an airplane to Vegas would be a bus, to tell you the truth.
My God. I got to tell you, since it's Andy's birthday, I'm going to give him money to gamble with when it comes to which old person's going to die at the slots first.
dude, we could completely take this no swab thing to another level. Not only do we like gamble on which one of us gets sick first, but we can nose swab random old. We can make wages, right? We can bet on people at the slots.
Yeah. We'll each have to like pick our champion at the beginning. And
right.
You have to stick with them the whole day.
Come on, Larry! Come on, Larry! Come on, Larry! Come on, Larry!
Sure, buffets aren't officially legal, but I just went to KFC and I got this big bucket. I'm just throwing it out on the table.
Just leading old people to. Oh, we're going to have to set up some rules because it seems like you two are going to be trying to hustle my ass. Andy's baiting old people in with KFC picked up on the way that I don't know about. There's no telling what you're up to. Weed is legal in that state. That takes it to a whole nother level. Andy, this birthday is going to be a hell of a birthday for your last birthday. I'm really going to be. I think you're going to be pleased that you took your last birthday this way.
Hello.
We'd be totally crushing it. And I didn't even tell you about the apple dunking, dunking for apples with the whole face in the COVID-19 infested water. I think that would be great right next to the KFC buffet.
There are so many things. As soon as you said apple bobbing, I was like, that's so gross, but I've done it. And I know you guys have probably done it at least once in your life. Just some of the things in like a pre-COVID world that now we're like, oh my God, like why would we ever do that?
Drooling in a bucket of water and then, okay, your turn. Now you do it.
Everyone's been at that birthday party when they were 7, when that kid who has the snotty nose, right? He's got the snotty nose. And he's like, I'm still bobbing for that apple. I don't care what any of you tell me right now. I'm
like
going
a fall
in.
activity where like the cold and flu season is just
yeah. Those kids who have birthdays in October and November, and there's the bobbing for apples, horrible situation. And that kid who wants to go bobbing for apples, you can give him like 5 apples, and he's like, no, I have snots running down my nose, and I want to get it the old-fashioned way, right in my mouth.
Or the worst, Andy, would be in Little League sports, in like a baseball or something where you kind of have distancing already built in. But something like basketball where you have to match up against a kid with like the neon green snot running down his face, and then you're going to be sweating on each other, and you're just trying to stay off the snot.
Yeah.
And just like get away. I mean, if you think about it, we were walking around in a petri dish, but at the same time, no plagues, chicken pox.
Yeah.
I mean, other than what was the last big health scare prior to like H1N1 or swine flu or bird flu or West Nile?
Mad cow.
Mad cow. You had to eat other cows and be a crazy cow to get mad cow.
At least you had something for your trouble. If you're going to get mad cow, which burrows holes in your brain, at least you had a tasty burger for your trouble.
Right. Yeah, at least you had something to show for it, and Mad Cow sounds cool. It sounds like a rejected, like Stan Lee character.
Like
the Mad Cow. They were like, let's not do this one anymore. They're like, Stan, I think you got to put that one in the bag for a while. But then all of a sudden,
Cow, the superpowers would be that there would be these udders right here, where the power would just shoot out.
There you go.
Like that.
Andy, each udder would shoot, so you'd have like all the different rays. You know what I'm
totally.
saying? Like it would be a spray. Yeah. Totally. I think we're on something, guys.
I'm writing it down.
Let's get Kevin Feige on the phone.
Mad Cow, best hero ever.
I smell an Oscar.
I agree.
I smell an Oscar. I'm gonna cast who do I? I'm gonna cast Steve Buscemi to play the Mad Cow before he turns into the Mad Cow.
Okay.
He's not. What has he been doing? Nothing.
No one's been saying.
Brain bug in the chat says that's utterly terrifying. Yes, it is.
Oh, brain bug. You need to be Tara's new joke writer because that's about the kind of stuff that Tara drops on you on Weirdos at Home.
I love a good pun.
Gross. I'm not a pun guy. Andy is a pun person.
I try to
throw around some puns.
I try
because you feel like it makes like if you can nail a pun, like anyone can be funny. Is that your
thing? Because I don't think like that, and it makes me feel stupid and challenged.
Wow.
So you're not mad at us, you're mad at yourself when it comes to
that's why I don't like puns. I don't like puns because I'm not that. I don't think that way, and I'm like, shut up, smart people in English class. Shut up.
Trying to tell a smart joke.
Hey, watch this move.
The way how I interact with tall people taller than I am, I get agitated. I just have that instant, like, I don't know even why you're that much taller than me, but it's like that when there's like a cultural or a literary reference that I don't understand. It's like, how dare you reference that Shakespearean sonnet, sir? I am angry.
Andy, but you know your stuff. You're like a well-read person. Like you have a great starting place. So you have to go so deep into literary references to make you feel inadequate or dumb or challenged. Meanwhile, you'd be like, whatever, midsummer, fall.
I like, Sam, how you enable me. I think this is the whole nature of the show. Whenever I'm online with Sam needs to enable whatever kind of personality disorder I'm manifesting at that particular moment.
Oh,
there you go.
You bring out the worst in people.
No, don't say that. No, I told Hitler you ought to keep pushing to go to art school.
You bring out the weird in people.
Bring out the weird in people. Okay, I don't know how to take that.
In a good way.
I've pressured a lot of people to do a lot of drugs, but nobody died. Nobody died.
Everyone lived.
Nobody died. There were some bad trips along the way, sure, but nobody died.
Yeah.
So Sam, I gotta ask you. We got Kelly Slade. In the chat, but by the last name, I imagine she is some kind of relative of yours.
She is my mom. That is. She taught me. She's probably responsible for about 80% of the sense of humor.
That's a large amount.
Yeah, it is. It is. And she goes about 100 miles a minute, and she's about maybe 95 pounds soaking wet. But I'll tell you what, I'm pretty sure she could take Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
At the moves with. Yeah, she's wiry.
I would think that 80% of your comedy is based on what most of ours is bitterness and more bitterness on top of that. But
yeah, I get that from my mom mostly. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. I'll tell you what, she was done with Trump long before he got elected. And I'll put it like this: politically, she was literally physically ill for a week. I think we talked about this on the Naked Diner at one point when we were still in shock over Donald Trump. My poor mother got physically ill for a week after Donald Trump won. And because my stepdad did not vote for president in that election, he was I didn't see him for about 3 months. I don't know what black site prison my mom had him hauled off to. So yeah, I'm sorry, long answer. That's who that is.
Okay,
excellent. Glad to see her in the chat.
See, she'll rarely participate on this show with you and me, Andy, but on Tara and I's show, it's like we've stopped by for like some tea on a Sunday.
She makes great tea, though.
Oh, that's good.
But she turns into Lauren Michaels during our show on the chat.
Oh, she's trying to produce the show, basically.
Yeah, she starts producing it. She's like, okay, so if we could not do the thing where you talk about doing the cocaine in the 80s, okay? And we're like, who are you?
Sammy, why don't you just tell him the story about the thing?
Yeah. Okay, if we could not do the thing with where you act crazy. I mean, Mom, don't.
Or as you would call it, family dysfunction.
There you go. See,
summed it up.
Andy, I wanted to ask you, how much longer do you think this is going to go on where we start and restart this game of COVID chicken that we're doing?
Well, Sam, I'm glad you asked that question because from what I've seen, the American people, and American, I mean the United States of America. I don't want to insult anyone from Canada or Mexico. I believe that stupidity is a renewable resource for us. It's like the sun or the wind. We can keep going. It's forever, possibly, until there's a vaccine, basically. Until there's a vaccine, I think we're just going to be in this cyclotron of stupidity, ignorance, and confederacy. That's what I think. Because I'm positive. I'm trying to keep this positive.
Yeah, no, I know. That's the positive take these days with everything going on. Mm-hmm. How long do you think that this is going to keep going? Like as far as the stop and go and the chicken, instead of just us, are we either going to say hell with it or are we going to actually do what it takes to slow it down?
I think it's going to be waves that are gradually getting smaller as we go. So I'm speaking for Austin. Let's just keep it local. I think they kept us all home for a good solid month. And then everyone kind of reopened at 50% and then 75%. But then now I would say since the weeks of Memorial Day, it has ramped up to a point where like everyone's so scared again now.
I think everybody's back at home.
Restaurants are voluntarily closing and bars are voluntarily closing without even having to have anything enforced. So I think, a lot of people are going to stay home for a little while and then maybe in a couple months, another wave of stupidity, but it'll be smaller and gradually fizzle out and hopefully meet in the middle with a vaccine coming, hopefully in 2021, I think is the last thing I read.
2021, right? Yeah. I mean, that's sometime during 2021 is realistic, I think. It all matters. And tell me if I'm wrong on this, whether or not Orange Syphilis gets reelected.
What do you think?
I'm afraid to say out loud that he won't because I was so sure last cycle that he wouldn't.
But I think where we go wrong with that is it's a different candidate and it's a different set of circumstances. And I think that it cannot be more different as far as what is the climate of the country right now? What are the challenges we're facing? In 2016, Obama's coming off of, the Make America Great Again for real tour.
For real,
like the real version, right? Like, no, we're not just saying it, we're doing it. And there was very little to bitch about in the country unless you're, scrapping about Benghazi still, or you're making a case for, the economic numbers were cooked or some bullshit, right? There was very little to complain about other than Hillary's emails. Now, this time around, we have a laundry list of first in a lifetime crises.
Yeah.
Crises.
What's fascinating, and I don't know if this is a basic principle that we can boil down to, but when things are good by having like a great president like Obama, America really wants to kind of go jazz and goes crazy racist, basically. It reverts back to form. And they're like, why haven't we had a racist guy for president for a while? Let's things have been too easy.
It's like when Andy, you're exactly right. It's like when some music artist that you love does some album that is like the staple, the career-defining album, and then the next album it's gonna be him and Regis and Tony Bennett singing Christmas songs, and you're like, what the fuck? What? I've been waiting 3 years for an album, and this is what I get? Really?
It's like the team of studio heads go, you guys have been doing really well. I think we should fuck this up a bit.
Right. Yeah. No, this is season 5, season 6. Like America finally fucking jumped the shark for real this time.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I have to tell you, I thought Trump was going to. I say this ad nauseum. I thought Trump was going to win in 2016. I had money on Trump winning in 2020, and now I think I'm going to lose my money, which I'm kind of happy about, to tell you the truth.
Sure. Yeah. But you know what? It's one of those deals where you don't want to get complacent. You don't want to spread the word that it's looking pretty good because you don't want people to say, well, Joe Biden's got it. I don't need to turn out. So as far as people know, if you're watching the show right now, Donald Trump's probably going to win unless you get everybody to vote, however easy that can be done in your state, because Donald Trump's pretty much going to try to steal this election if you don't vote. So hurry. We need you to hurry right now. Go register right now. Stop. Close your laptop. Go.
You're right. It's the end of the world. You should just vote and just like get other people. Just take a random person and just like bring them in.
And also, it's that thing, Andy, that I know you and I have talked about, and Tara and I have talked about a number of times, where it's, out of all the candidates we could be stuck with right now, we really got to quit acting like Joe Biden is some, consolatory prize, because the deal is we're spoiled. We're spoiled, and we treat it like American Idol. We want it to be our perfect flavor that matches with every single little thing that we like. Mm-hmm. From, who's the guy, what's the person's favorite song, to, what's their favorite movie. And like, we're dating the person. We're not. We're just making sure they hire competent people. It's like hiring a mid-manager at Best Buy. He's not going to really be in charge of that much shit, or her in charge of that much shit, right?
Sam, before I address these very cogent points that you just made, I just want to say that when I start drinking, I have firewalls to keep myself from drinking more, because I'm about to empty out this rather copious cup.
That is a good birthday cup. That is a good birthday.
It's a good birthday cup.
Birthday cup.
But there are 2 floors. There are 2 floors that I would have to like go down to get more alcohol, and I'm not going to do that because I'm lazy. So this is what's saving us from me actually making no coherence whatsoever. Do you need a read? See, my girlfriend, who's a really good enabler, she's like saying, "What, do you want me to bring the rum up to you?" No. The moral.
Come on, Amy. Come on.
No. I got to be functional. The thing is, Sam, and let me tell you about this. Let me tell you what I think about Joe Biden. And I'm going to put the positive spin on this because
come on, get up there.
I am going to be Mr. Positive because I figured out that I'm going to be positive. This is my birthday resolution. I don't know if that's a thing. I'm going to become a more positive person. And that, you know what? And I'm going to tell my friends out there, who's like maybe the 3 people who ever pay attention to what I say. If we elect Joe Biden, then he makes the Bernie Sanders kind of Northern European, Scandinavian lifestyle possible down the line.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I think.
He opens doors to everything Bernie was talking about. But, I think it's a lack of really understanding maybe some younger folks. Not that I'm like, anybody to be giving anyone a lecture, but there's a few places I can, and I will say progress doesn't happen overnight. Joe Biden is the first step to get to all the policies that Bernie wanted to pass. Well, I don't know. Maybe I'm the high goofball kid.
I think Andy's positivity is spreading
down
here.
What?
I'm like a moldy virus cancer. That's what I am with my positivity. See, so positive, so positive.
And he's real Irish. He's Boston Irish, not the Mutt Texas Irish over here, where it's like, I'm basically feral Irish.
Feral Irish.
Feral Irish. Yeah, I grew up going to Catholic church, but I grew up with all the same guilt issues and alcoholism and everything else, just without all the cool Boston part of it.
Mm-hmm.
If you two ever come to Boston, we'll go, and after the apocalypse is over, or after the coronavirus apocalypse is over, right? We'll head over to the Black Rose. There's a very nice picture of Michael Collins, just like screaming at the void. Basically, Michael Collins, a firm advocate for Irish independence. We'll have a couple of drams. There'll be an Irish bar playing. No, there'll be an Irish band playing. There'll be a band playing, and we'll have a good couple of pints, and it'll be.
That sounds amazing, Judith.
Can't wait.
Hey, I wanted
America 2.0.
Right,
yeah.
But I wanted to bring this up because Tara brought this up on Two Weirdos at Home last night, and that is have you guys lost a bunch of beloved restaurants or bars in Boston at all? Because we were looking around, count the bodies, right?
Yeah,
great. Anyone who is listening to this who is a Boston native knows Great Scott. Great Scott. I mean, I've done a couple of open mics over there. That's in a small borough of Boston, of Allston, Brighton. So you have Boston, just like, we're like the New York City Junior, in which we have small boroughs too. And Allston, Brighton is the cool college section of Boston, not Cambridge, because Cambridge is a smart version of not associated with Boston, right? But Allston, Brighton is where all the kids from BC, BU hang out. And Great Scott is a great venue. It's been here, from my old, that feels really good. From my vantage point, it's been here forever, and it's gone. It's just going to be gone. It's going to maybe move to a new venue. And the thing is, it only needed a certain amount of money. Oh, thank you, Doctor. He just said it's a good show. The thing is about Great Scott is that it did a GoFundMe campaign, and it made over the amount of money it needed. It needed $150,000. It got $200,000. But the thing is, the landlord's like, sorry, you're out. We're not going to renew your lease. And so now they have to find a whole new spot. And it really is a fantastic spot in Allston, Brighton. And it's gone. Just like that, into the ether.
Whereas a year ago, it would have been mind blowing to even consider it, going out of business, right? I mean, before all, same thing with who was it in Austin that you were talking about? That
Threadgills.
There you go.
So we have a chain of restaurants.
There's just two of them.
There was three, I think, at one time.
Okay.
Called Threadgills. It was like comfort food, down home cooking.
Food.
But what it's famous for was. The original was in the Armadillo
World Headquarters,
which kicked off the careers of Janis Joplin, Willie Nelson,
ACD's first American show.
Yeah, I mean all these great Americana artists.
But it was a restaurant inside of the venue.
There. And so when you would go into these places, it would be a bar, a restaurant, and a music venue.
They still do music.
And it was and it had been around since like the 60s, 70s?
Late 60s.
And mainstay. And it was something we never thought we would ever not have.
We ate there in January.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden they didn't even try to do a GoFundMe. They just announced we're done.
And tomorrow, if you're in the Austin area, you can Google the rest of the details. But Threadgills, Andy, this is I guess kind of cool with everything going on. They're having an auction to actually make some money for us. For a good cause. I don't remember which one. I don't have the information in front of me, but they're auctioning off all that old memorabilia that they've been collecting for decades upon decades, and the stuff from when they opened the place. So yeah. I'm sure there's cool stuff, and if you want to give some money to a good cause, just Google Threadgills Austin auction, I guess, memorabilia auction. With tomorrow's date, it ought to come right up. Anyways, I think that I'm sure they'll have some cool stuff, but it's just an example of. Man, I mean, there are places that we didn't think would be closed across the country, and I think the shoes are going to be pretty big, Andy, coming into we joke around and say the new times, but we're going to want these new mom and pop kind of vibe places, and will that be possible?
Well, it's going to be very difficult because a lot of these mom and pop places that have been around forever have this kind of institutional knowledge, right? They know people. You know this from comedy, Sam, is that it's a very personal business about people having personal connections with each other. And once that light kind of dims or goes out completely, it's difficult to recapture that kind of magic.
Yeah, you mean like basically years and years of work to cultivate these relationships, or I think it's not comedy, but I think it's anything. I think it's a business. I think it's if you're running a nonprofit, it's the same way.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were looking around yesterday, and we realized there's quite a few places that we grew up going to here in Austin, been grown up here, that just aren't going to be around anymore, and it's weird.
Yeah.
It's funny in that, and funny and sad. Because, right, we do comedy, and so you can't say funny without being sad at the same time. But I don't know about Austin, but Boston is a city in transition in which there's a lot of gentrification and a lot of people who've had 50-year rents or 50-year leases, for example, they're just being kicked out. So there's like this great place in Jamaica Plain, which is another little borough of Boston called Doyle's, and they closed up recently, and they've been around for like well over, I think, and I don't know if my girlfriend's still in the chat, but she could tell me because she's sober and she has a really good head for numbers. I think around for like 100 years. And they just closed recently because they found out that they could make a lot of money from the liquor license, just selling the liquor license here in Boston. So the family just made money that way. So the Corona apocalypse just kind of exacerbated this trend of the old just dying. It's like an extinction event. It's like a big meteor coming down and destroying all these great businesses that could have held on. They could have held on, to tell you the truth, but they didn't.
I mean, I think it also just like pulls the curtain back on like the restaurant industry in general, entertainment, or I guess customer service, but like they're always most of the time operating on razor thin margins
to begin with.
And then something like this happens, and that's why these places are getting taken out. Just like
the rug just
2 weeks into quarantine, a lot of these places were closing. 3 weeks.
And you're right about the margins. I was watching a story here in the Boston area that one of the newly opened restaurants, they just got rid of tipping. What they did is that it's more of a European system in which the tip is already included in your bill. And sure, if you want to throw a couple of bucks to the waiter or waitress afterwards, that's fine. And I think that's a better system, to tell you the truth, is that there's less of a wage slavery element to it. Is if you just like throw an extra 15 or 20% on that bill, then people who are waiting on you, they're not in as much wage slavery.
Right. And this is that ties into something Tara brought up this morning before we all got together, which is for the restaurants that are going to stay open or attempt to stay open, I can only speak for down here right now, you brought up the point of whose job is it to enforce the mask thing? Is it the 19-year-old busboy that we're going to make, put on the front line of the public health crisis? I mean, we're asking people to step in line where it should be a security guard at the front of a store or, whatever, a manager, maybe somebody with any authority, as opposed to, what was it? You saw a video where they had to drag some woman out of some restaurant.
It was an IHOP, like just a big chain restaurant.
Denny's or IHOP,
it was a woman that refused to wear a mask, and everyone else in the restaurant had masks on. The manager had asked her to leave, and of course, at that point, it was taking her rights away. So she decided to climb that hill, and that was the one she was going to die on. But the clip that is like seared into my brain is them as they're like 3 or 4 employees like trying to get her out the door.
Physically,
she's
like push up,
spitting in their faces. Luckily, they all have masks on. But the guy that had her like most in control looked like 20 years old,
just out of high school,
little busboy outfit on, and I'm just like, that's insane. Should he have to put his life on the line like that?
Right.
And people are going to get hurt, because I have restrained people and escorted people. That's a nice way of saying I'm going to restrain you and move you at the same time.
It's okay. I've been escorted out of a few bars myself in my day.
And the thing is, if you're not trained to do that properly, people are going to get messed up badly. And especially, yeah, it's a crazy situation to ask some kid who's getting minimum wage. I mean, I was a busboy when I was 18 years old at something like a Denny's, at a pancake house.
Yeah.
And the idea that it is packed, I am bussing tables, I'm working the dishwasher and everything, and all of a sudden you're telling me that I got to escort. And I don't know if this is like a not PC term, but a Karen out of the establishment, right? It's like, dude, I gotta go wipe up the freaking slop in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Right. And now you're telling me I gotta escort somebody else out. I don't know. That's a hard thing to tell some kid to do. Especially a dude.
It's outrageous to us.
It's there's got to be OSHA rules against it to be like, hey, you got to fight that person. Go. Like, I don't think that was part of the training. I remember when I worked at McAlisters Deli when I was in high school. I don't remember them ever being like, all right, see that guy? Get him. Right.
But only get him after you give him the tongue sandwich on dark rye. Right.
Oh, see, I wish, Andy, I wish it was that kind of deli. This place was the most gentrified, like chain shit deli. It's not even a real deli. I wish I had, if it was that kind of place. Deli. Yeah, it's like a cleaner, like even more sterile and even characterless Jason's Deli. But I wish, Andy, if I'd worked at the kind of place you were talking about, it would have been like Goodfellas, where it was like, Jesus Christ, Sam, you wasted 8 aprons on that fucking guy.
Yeah.
Speaking of wasting aprons, you'll appreciate this. Last night, I tried some ghost pepper chips, and they were very painful. Last night on Weirdos at Home, Andy.
Did you have some milk? Did you have some milk close by?
Went to bed with about a 2 liter of milk. Yeah.
Well, originally I was going to.
Do we have them? To just
you threw them away. I think we burned them and.
Explain. Tara, you seem to be acquainted with ghost peppers. For those of us in the audience who aren't acquainted with ghost peppers, how hot are ghost peppers?
So they're pretty hot. They're hotter than a habanero. So I don't know if this is common knowledge, but the intensity of the heat scale in food is called the Scoville Unit. And so at the very bottom, you would have your, jalapenos, bell peppers.
Bell peppers be at the bottom.
The very bottom, then jalapenos, you work your way up.
Serrano, and then.
So these chips that we ate are a 38,700 Scoville unit of, I guess the highest you can go is 100,000. So
okay,
it's pretty spicy.
Sure, that's respectable. That's a respectable amount, and especially in a chip.
Yeah. So I tried like half of one, and it burned like the side of my mouth a little bit, but not too bad.
You don't like spicy food to begin with.
But I hate spicy food to begin with, so that was a lot for me. And then I look over, and he's like wrist deep in this bag, like just handful in his mouth. And in my head, I was like, "Ooh, you're gonna have a rough night tonight."
Yeah, for a guy who's had some stomach ulcer issues and some stomach health scares, I'm gonna say this: my intestines wrote its congressman this morning.
Right.
So how did it get us out? Yeah. We cannot live here anymore.
By the way, has it come out, Sam? Has it exited?
It was a very interesting experience. It wasn't quite as violent as I anticipated, but it was as painful as I anticipated. Look, there you go, right on time, Andy. There's my mom in the chat saying, I told you not to do it, because, of course, she was on the live chat going, no, don't eat it. He can't just be eating ghost pepper chips on your podcast show.
Ghost pepper chips. Tara, I was watching one of the shows, Weirdos at Home. See what I did there? I just plugged your show. About you disliking milk. How can you dislike milk and then imbibe ghost pepper chips?
I didn't buy these chips. These were thrust upon me.
We found him. I think I found him I was at the store by myself. See, Andy, this is what happens when I finally get out of the house during quarantine and have to go make an errand run. I'm like, ooh, novelty ghost pepper chips. This will be fun. What a blockbuster movie trivia game. A PlayStation. What I came home with more random shit. If I get sent out to do errands, I come home. I'm just trying to keep that old that spirit of my dad and my Uncle David alive, where it was like, Dad's on his way home. He's gonna have something crazy. I just know it.
Yeah, my dad was the same way. I don't know. I've just never been a milk fan, and I'm like mildly lactose intolerant, so full milk will just. I won't have a good night at that point. But I can do cheese. I can do butter. Not ice cream, though.
What movie is it?
Ice cream. Oh.
What is it? You said you had a sense memory when it comes to milk. What movie is it?
It was Batman, the original Batman in 1989.
Because what, you were at some kid's house?
I was at a babysitter's, and it was when it came out on VHS. So maybe it was 90 at that point.
Yeah, it's hard. Maybe 91.
But she only would let us drink milk during this movie, and I hated it then, and now I have this weird taste memory of every time I do drink straight milk, no, it's the other way. Every time I see a Batman logo, I can taste milk in my mouth.
That is weird.
It's very.
So tell me why Christian Bale isn't the best at Batman. I know this is a hot topic with you guys.
Well, again, I feel like I was misquoted on that show, so I'm going to set the record straight here.
Oh, Lord.
Please set the record.
You guys have your own show.
I never said Val Kilmer was the best Batman. I said that he was the hottest Batman. I said the best overall Batman was Michael Keaton. And I think that it's a lot of maybe it's nostalgia. I have like a connection to him in that way. I think Bale to me was the best Bruce Wayne.
Oh.
I think he played the mental health side really well. I mean, you know how Christian Bale gets into a character.
Yeah.
All of Batman's like mental health struggles that, a lot of the comics don't talk, or a lot of like the Keaton movies didn't talk about. George Clooney definitely wasn't having any kind of issues. But he also played like the playboy, asshole, rich guy really well too. And I really liked the storyline where he has his mental breakdown and then forgets about all the charity that he was doing and all of that. Yeah. And it's kind of brought back up to him, and he's humanized. And like, I need to get that. And then doesn't he give Wayne Manor to like the boys' school at the very end?
Yeah.
So I feel like that's a really good character whole of Bruce Wayne.
Okay. Well, I have to disagree with you on that. I'm going to go ahead and just, I don't know if I should go ahead and quit the podcast now. or if I should just go to bed for the rest of the day. I'm not really sure where to go from here.
It's a nice rainy day down here.
I feel bad. Yeah, how's the weather going to be on your birthday in Boston there, Andrew?
I hear it's going to be Batman with Christian Bale.
That's how the weather is?
That's how the weather is.
Well, it's better. That's better than Tim Burton weather, I guess.
That's true. Are you about to do are we about to have to hear about Batfleck? Like,
no, I don't need to make a case. Everyone knows that Batfleck is the best. That's why him and Keaton are the best. That's why they're the only two who have been invited back to play Batman going into next year. Batfleck's getting his new HBO Max series. Keaton, who knows what we're going to do. My cat is breaking shit. She's so excited about Keaton. The simple, just speaking the words that Keaton is coming back, my cat started throwing paintings off the wall.
No, maybe she's upset. Maybe she's a Bale fan.
Well, you know what? Bale's not coming back, and you know what? Val Kilmer can't even talk anymore. So you're running out of options. And what's his name? Unfortunately, is dead. Burt Ward and his massive dick are still alive.
Bring back Burt.
Have you ever heard that about?
I haven't heard that. So tell me about that.
We were watching some wholesome like Batman in the 60s, Batman 66. Yeah, we would go to malls and sign autographs. And they turned to Burt Ward, who played Robin. He's like, yeah, the studio made me take pills to make my member shrink. They said it was too big in costume. So they had him on some experimental Andy, this is real. So it's in his book. It's backed up by all kinds of people.
It is fact at this point. I would like to think, like behind the scenes, Adam West like pulled the producer aside and he's like, I'm not standing next to that. You got to do something about that, or I'm off this project.
You think Adam West was jealous?
I think maybe I would like that would be drama.
I just want to answer to Amy Basile that I'm still in the Christian Bale camp in terms of Batman. I'm just, I am open to all this discussion about Batman and the different manifestations of Burt Ward's penis. Apparently,
there's more different versions of Burt Ward's dick than there are Batmen who played him on screen.
No, really.
It's a fun fact. Just Google those pictures.
Google it.
Just Google those pictures.
I'm afraid. I'm afraid. That's what I am. I am afraid.
Well, I'm with Amy. I got to say it's definitely Keaton, and then Affleck comes in second. But Keaton's coming back. Affleck's coming back. Bale's not. Adam West isn't. Kilmer's not. Clooney's not. The weirdo who does the voice on the cartoons are letting do some CW
face
stuff.
work, yeah.
Show his face finally after 30 years. But
I mean, tell me if I'm wrong on this. If I was working for DC, and this is going to be heresy, I should just license a bunch of these characters off to Disney to see what they could do with it.
Just a little test, just see what they could do.
Because it's going to be better. You just know it's going to be better. If DC can do better TV series, it's obvious that Disney can do blockbuster movies, overarching themes and storylines.
Yeah, I don't want to sound like I'm, anti James Wan, but I think my cat could have directed Aquaman.
And she hates water.
Yeah, she hates water. We were talking about that last night, Andy. We had so much fun. We saw something about Shazam came across YouTube on the living room TV, and how weird of a Jetson sentence is that? Something on YouTube came on the living room TV and we're doing our video phone show real quick. Anyways, it was Shazam, and you said, "Hey, look, I could watch that right now." I'm like, "We watched it last weekend." But it feels so much like a Marvel movie.
Mm-hmm. I love it. It was so good.
Is it good? Because Shazam just doesn't strike me as it got bad vibes. I feel bad vibes from Shazam. I haven't seen it, but you're recommending it right here, right now in front of people.
My first encounter with the Shazam movie was I was on a flight back from North Carolina, and
Kobe had just died.
Set the scene.
No, okay, yeah.
So I was coming home from North Carolina, and it was, I don't remember if it was Delta or American Airlines, but they have complimentary TV that you can watch on the headset in front of you. And so, but for extra cash, you can rent like new movies coming out. Well, I'm pretty cheap overall, frugal. So I was watching the free TV, but I noticed through like the crack in front of me, someone had paid for Shazam. And I was like, I kind of want to know what that's about. So I watched Shazam on a screen about this big, silent for about an hour. And I was like, this looks pretty good. Like, I'm into it. So it hooked me without me even being able to hear it. And then I don't know if we rented it or something happened. So we watched it together and we really liked it. It's like Big, the movie, meets Superman. And it's
just fun.
It was good writing. The jokes were funny. Zachary Levi, like we joked about it yesterday, but Zachary Levi, who plays the main character, has been waiting for this moment as an actor, I think, for a really long time. I thought he thought his career was fizzling out, and then they've now signed him on for like how many movie deals? He's showing up to Comic-Cons. He's signing everything that you're asking him to sign.
Like, whatever you want me to do.
Yeah, I'm here as long as you need me to be here. So I think they have a really enthusiastic lead who's gonna stand behind this project. And
Andy, the problem is that Shazam is a kid that yells Shazam and he becomes an adult. So I feel bad for the kid who plays the main character, Billy Batson, because in a couple years, dude, he's gonna already be post puberty. He's gonna be too big. You know, you can't have a 25-year-old yelling Shazam at an orphan. Right. Well, hey, it's like we were talking about Batman Forever the other day when Joel Schumacher died. Robin was 37 in those movies. And we were like,
37.
Parents just died.
This poor orphan boy.
He should be full-blown Nightwing at that point. Yes.
I hope we get a Nightwing movie.
So tell me about this whole crossover. You have Shazam at the Wayne Home for Boys. And there you have the Marvel DC crossover right there.
There you go.
That's right.
There you go. I'm into it. I'll be open to putting my name on any Marvel project. Just like to make that announcement.
Right. Well, that's very generous of you, Sam. People can be knocking. It's like I didn't know Sam Slade was open to a Marvel movie.
Well, you know what? We didn't know that when we made Ant-Man and the Wasp. We would have called
him. You're looking over at the people at Marvel sitting on a pile of cash, and you're like, yeah, I think I could do that. That looks pretty good.
I'm open to hearing them out.
You know, just as an aside, I'm willing to waste as much of Marvel's and Disney's money.
Yes,
I got a bunch of crappy scripts and there's like high tentpole kind of ideas of movies, and that whole crossover with Marvel and Bruce Wayne, that's gold.
It is gold. That makes money. That prints money forever. I think if you can make that happen.
Well, I think with everyone's on about a multiverse kick now. I think it's inevitable. It's inevitable.
They did in the comics at one point. I mean, shit, what was it? I think they have Ninja Turtles and Batman is like a cartoon movie now.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have ate the cyanide cap after watching that. I would have just been like, it's not getting better. It's not getting better.
There's no more.
Batman the series, the animated series, that was gold. I think
it
was
dark as hell.
Yeah.
It was Cat liked it. Gets excited if we bring it up. But they used I think that was great because they used the original Tim Burton song, so it felt like it was all endorsed and it was all part of it, you know.
I just loved Mark Hamill as Joker.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah. True enough. So we're closing in on an hour. I don't even know what the hell we've been talking about. Wow. We've been talking about Batman and my drinking problems in Austin and Boston, and I guess the boroughs of Boston, whatever. But we should come down to like last thoughts.
Happy birthday to you. Yeah, that's right. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Andy.
Happy birthday to.
Oh, that guy right there.
Look at that guy. Well, thank you very much. It was unexpected. And I appreciate the warm wishes. That's what I do.
Have fun tomorrow. Go enjoy yourself. You've been busting your ass during this quarantine, and you deserve some fun, young man.
You know, the thing is, Sam and Tara, the next time I'm online after tomorrow, I may have stories about how I got shut off and kicked out during the coronavirus.
I didn't say misbehave and be an asshole. I said have some fun and enjoy yourself. Now, if those two things are the same, that's your thing. That's your.
I think I'm just gonna Boston the fuck out of my birthday, and whatever happens, happens.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna close it. Oh, Tara, do you have any? Besides singing your wonderful praises, you got anything?
Just check out Weirdos at Home if you haven't already, and I think our next show is going to be Monday. But we'll post more about that, how you can watch, and on Instagram you can find me at Pterodactyl03.
I love it.
And then great. On Twitter I'm just Tara Brown 512. So come say hi.
There you go. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for coming on Friday morning with Andy and Sam.
Thanks for having me.
First in-person guest. There you go.
I'm usually sitting about 3 feet that way in my pajamas with no makeup on. So you guys gave me a good kickstart this Friday morning. I'm going to kick some ass today, I think.
That's what we're here about. We're here to help people being better people, aren't we, Sam?
That's the only reason we started this show. It has nothing to do with that Marvel movie deal.
Not at all. Not at all. All right, I'll see you all later.
All right, happy birthday,
Happy birthday. Have fun.
Thank you. And here's that